Hello, everybody. This is Peter Beckenham from Thailand, and with me, I've got,
𝐁𝐿 from the Business Gurus, all the way from the Philippines, guys.
you know what, between us, we've got probably 90 years of experience. My Godfather, that's some really scary stuff, Jeffrey. Hey? Unbelievable.
In many cases, we've forgotten more than some of you guys know. But that's all
Yeah.
right. You're going to help us remember.
So, what we want to do, we're having a conversation together, and we want to share some ideas with you. Basically, there'll be some proven practical client attraction tips that have worked for us. Okay, and we want to share some ideas and insights with you that you might find helpful in your own business. But I want to put a caveat on that. The caveat is this: you can listen to what Jeff and I tell you, but if you don't do anything about it, nothing's going to happen. Okay?
Guaranteed.
Nothing's going to happen. So the key issue I'm going to give you now, more than anything else, is that there's so many people who are in learning mode but never get out of learning mode. Okay? Do not try to be perfect. Just have a go at it. You haven't got to let people see you as your imperfect self. They will gravitate to you more if you're real and you're authentic. Don't try and come up with the perfect presentation or the perfect video or whatever it is, okay? Just be you. Just be you and let people see you as you are. And if you stuff up and you make mistakes in the middle of it, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
People understand that you're real. And,
that's
and
right.
in this day and age, all I can say to you is this: we live in a very uncertain, very skeptical, very distrusting age, right? And people are looking for people who are real. Okay? They're looking for people who are real. So don't worry about the fact that you've made some mistakes of any way, shape, or form, because it'll be in your favor. It won't go against you. All right? Because
Absolutely.
people will think this guy's bloody real. Well, this lady is for real.
That's the
Okay?
one.
Would you agree, Jeff?
You don't need to polish it up, guys. That's right. Even if you're like me, you drop the F-bomb sometimes, which I do. People forgive me.
Yeah. So to get started with, and Jeff and I are just going to I mean, we got no hidden agenda here. We're going to just chat for maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes maximum, right? But I
That's
want
the
to
one.
start. Here's one tip that I use, right? And food for thought. And Jeffrey's got different ideas, which is good. But I use audio clips a lot, okay? And in my audio clips, the idea basically is because, first of all, I hate typing. I really am the world's worst typist, okay? And I can say more in 15 seconds than I can trying to type out a whole long message, all right? And yes, it's manual and it's not automated, so I appreciate that fact, but it enables me to be able to put some emotion and some characteristics and some charisma into a message, all right? So for example, if I was reaching out to Jeff for the very first time, okay, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, wherever, it doesn't really matter, okay? I'd be saying something like this, okay? Jeff, thank you so very much for your connection request on Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever it is. Okay. By the way, I notice you're from Oregon, or I notice you're from wherever. Okay. I'd love to hear a little bit about your story. But more importantly, I see that you are a real estate agent. What was it that attracted you into that profession? I'd love to hear your story. Okay. That works for me. That works for me because you're getting people to talk about themselves. All right. And before I pass back to you, Jeffrey, one thing is this: I will wait maybe a week. And if I've heard nothing back from them in terms of my voice clip message to them, I will send one more message. And the message is something like this: Jeffrey, I sent you an audio message about a week ago, and I never got a response. Never ever got a response. And I thought, I wonder what's going on there. I can't understand it. And then I listened to it, Jeff. I thought, oh my God, no wonder he didn't respond to me. I mean, when I listened to it, it sounded like I was giving a soliloquy at a funeral, or I was trying to address the United Nations, or I was having an argument with my mother-in-law. I mean, I'm just poking fun at myself and falling on my sword just to get a reaction from them. That works for me when it comes to audio clips. Over to you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, not bad. And Peter doesn't tell you, he even reaches out to people on their birthday and sings them happy birthday. That's another one.
I
That's
do,
another.
and I'm a terrible singer.
Yeah, guys. I want to tell you about something you may not realize. I'm not sure what genre of music you like. Let's just say you like jazz. Well, do you know only 17% of the population like jazz? And if it comes to hip hop, 22% of the population like hip hop. So my question to you is, what channel are you on? What channel are you reaching out to? Because guys, the most popular channel is rock and roll, right? And you might hate rock and roll. So what I'm trying to get at, guys, you've got to be across all the different channels on social media. All right. And more importantly, you've got to be consistent. You've got to be across all the channels. The main ones, guys, of course, are LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and the big one, YouTube. They're my main four. But guys, there are 32 channels out there, and you can't be on them all. No one can. So get good at a couple of channels, guys, and be consistent. People will show up if you're consistent. So be consistent. Be it once a day, once every couple of days, or do a live every Friday at 10 o'clock every Friday. But be consistent. That's it for me, Pete. Back to you.
One thing, when you're talking about being consistent, and how many channels you say there were? 34?
32 minimum.
32. Your suggestion to people, they don't try and be everywhere at once, but just
Correct.
focus on 4 or 5 maximum and do that on a consistent base, right?
Absolutely.
All right. And when they do that, they can actually save time because they can actually repurpose what they're doing from one to the other, correct?
That's right, because you've got new people going past your door every day. Just wait a month, guys, and regurgitate them again. Give them a different headline. Just bring them back up again, and away they go. We do it all the time. I've been talking about virtual assistants, guys, for 5 years. All I do is keep putting up the same stuff and changing the headline.
Okay. One of my favorite topics is to stop chasing prospects and start attracting clients, right? Because if you're in the chasing prospects mode, then you're really in a losing game in many ways.
Like chasing 3 rabbits, isn't it, Peter?
It is. And they're all going down 3 different holes, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm suggesting to you is this. I mean, rather than chase after prospects, you need to reverse that. And it's not that difficult to do, even if they don't even know who you are. And I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment, okay? But the key issue is this. A magic message I've used when I am actually first connecting with someone, let's say on LinkedIn, and by the way, you know, all pretense aside, right now you won't even see me on LinkedIn because my profile has been hidden. Okay, I'm hoping to get it back pretty soon because it's really not helping me. But that's a story for another day. But I'm saying if you are a LinkedIn user or even a Facebook user, it doesn't matter much. The message I use is this. Let's take LinkedIn. If I see Jeffrey 𝐕𝐞𝐿 on LinkedIn, I don't go and look at his profile. Well, I do. I do because I mean, I'm not interested in just looking at good-looking women from Algeria to become friends with, right? That's not the point. We've got to have some sort of commercial intent. I will go down to his recommendations area and look at the people who have actually recommended him. And I will quote to him or her on the message, right? I see where Helen said X, Y, and Z about you, Jeff. That fascinates me. I'm curious. I'd love to know more about that. Would you mind sharing it with me? That is something that I've found a really clever way of starting a conversation with people for the first time.
Yeah, very interesting, Pete. Opens a few doors, doesn't it?
Well, it's not only that, it shows that you showed enough interest in them to check out not just their profile, but even down to their recommendations. Nobody else does that. Very few people even bother with that. But it's real, and more important, you're focusing on the one thing that they love, them.
Yeah, and what Peter's saying here, guys, it's about quality, not quantity. So rather than blast out 100 a day, if you did it Peter's way and did 10 or 20, you'd see dramatic change in your results. It's
10
really
a
that
day is
simple.
maximum, Jeffrey. 10 a day is maximum. If you do 10 of these a day, right,
Yep.
I will guarantee if you can't get 50% return of that, I mean, at least 5 coming back to you, then you're not speaking English, right?
Yes.
And the idea really is to get people interested enough in you to think, this guy is different. This lady is different, because we got to differentiate ourselves. We're in a world that's become commoditized, right? I mean, everybody is eating everybody else's lunch. That's what it amounts to, right? So you've got
Yes.
to be different. And this is a way I've found to be different that attracts people and thinks, my God, I wonder what that's all about. And once you've got that, you're on the way. You haven't sold anything, you haven't proven anything. You've just shown that you have
Open the
approached
door.
them in a completely different way, and you've opened the door for an opportunity. And who knows where that goes? But it doesn't matter. You've
Absolutely.
opened the door. That's all we're trying to do.
Yes. And for those of you who are not on LinkedIn, here's another thing I do. On LinkedIn, I forget where the button is because I don't do it. My VA does it, but I think it's under, possibly Peter might be able to tell me, it's under either home or network. It'll show you 3 things. It'll show you people's birthdays. It'll show you where they've changed jobs. And it shows you how long they've been at a job. Oh, yeah, celebration. I've been here 10 years. So we've got 3 well-constructed messages. So if it's your birthday, we've got a happy birthday message, and we tell you we're going to give you a free gift. And we do give them a free gift. All right, come back to that in a minute. And then if it's a celebration, 10-year celebration, congratulations, Tony, on your 10 years. You know, that's awesome, rah, rah, rah. And the other one would be, you've changed jobs. I'll bet you're looking forward to it, you know, this life-changing experience, Peter, blah, blah, blah. And interesting enough, guys, I kid you not, 75 to 80% come back and say thank you. That's 75 to 80% engagement. And then we can take that a step further. You're most welcome. By the way, like Colombo, by the way, and then we enter a conversation. We attempt to enter a conversation. And then we take that conversation somewhere, guys. Because everybody wants to talk about themselves, right? So you get that conversation happening, and who knows what might happen. I mean, it's quite frankly, guys, I left LinkedIn alone for a long, long time. I finally came over and I put a dedicated staff member on it. Now we've got 4. You know, we do it in turns. And we found a third of our business is now coming from LinkedIn. So imagine how much money I'd be leaving on the table, guys, if I didn't use LinkedIn. So if you're already using Facebook, the message here, guys, is get over to LinkedIn as well. If you need any help, reach out to Peter or myself. We're happy to guide you.
Good, good. One thing I would like to share with you. Quite often when we're having a conversation, because that's my specialty area, having conversations with people that can lead to potential clients, right? But if you approach a conversation, if I approach a conversation with Jeff and I'm thinking, maybe Jeff could be a good prospect for me. Maybe, just maybe, I looked at his profile, holy dooly. I mean, I'm wondering whether I can work out a way to get him as a client. If you have a mindset that's thinking like that, that's going to impact on you and it's going to undermine you right from the word go. What you need to do is you can be completely agenda-free except for one thing, okay? And the one thing is, does Jeff feel, is he someone who aligns with you, that you feel comfortable in talking with? Not whether he's going to be a client. So to me, the word prospecting puts you in sales mode. And it applies to other things. I mean, never use the word, are you interested in? Okay? Are you interested in having another conversation with me? Because the word interesting is also part of the whole sales program. So what I'm suggesting you do is this. If you are talking to people for the first time, then simply say something as simple as this. Jeff, look, I've been thinking, if you're open to it, not if you're interested, right? If you're open to it, I'd like to have an opportunity to get to appreciate and understand you more. So I can then have a look at you and understand, appreciate you how you start in business. So could you, if you're interested, no, not if you're interested, that I just made my own. That's an example of being imperfect, right? There you go.
There you go, perfect.
If you're open to it, I would love to have the opportunity to talk with you, because to me, it's a way of getting to appreciate and understand you more. And I would be prepared to invest my time in you, because I think we got some synergy potential.
That's the one.
With that in mind, would you mind, I always seek permission, would you mind if I left a conversation link here? I don't call it a calendar link. I don't call it a discovery link, because that's all associated with sales. Would you mind if I left you a conversation link here? Okay. That's how I go about it.
Yeah, not bad, Pete. I do something similar, guys, except my one, people's comment, mine's an actual picture and a QR code of a virtual cup of coffee. I've sent you a picture of the actual cup, nice cup of coffee, and say, let's have a virtual cup of coffee, right? So
that's
same.
The QR code behind you, Jeffrey, right?
Yeah, basically like one of the ones on the left-hand side there, correct, with me pointing up, correct. Similar to that, guys, except it's a cup of coffee, and it's non-threatening. I had someone reach out this week. I've only just started using it. They said, do you realize that cup of coffee is only for right-handed people? If they picked it up left-handed, it'd be upside down. Yeah. And I said back to the guy and said, oh, how do you pick up a virtual cup of coffee, my friend? Some funny people out there, guys. And don't worry, guys, if you got haters, you're doing good, because it's proof that people are seeing you, and that's a good thing. You know,
that is true. That is true, because at least you're being visible, right?
Correct.
And you aren't everybody's cup of tea. Jeff and I aren't everybody's cup of tea.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Someone who's 20 or 30 years of age, not our way. We understand that. We respect, all right? We understand that. And from my point of view, I have a completely different approach to sales to what Jeffrey does, but we both do it in our own way, and it works, right?
Correct.
And for me, this is what I do. There are 5 questions in everybody's head when you meet them for the first time, right? And these 5 questions are ones that if you don't answer them, you will never get them as a potential customer. But they will never tell you what they are, right? Never. We are all the same. Jeff, me, everybody thinks these 5, okay? Here's what they are. 1, do I trust you, right? Because that's in the front of their head. Do I trust you? Doesn't matter how good your stuff is. If they don't trust you, they're not going to do any business with you anyway, right? But they're not going to tell you that. I don't trust you. But it's in their head, right? Do I trust you? Secondly, if I trust you, do I trust you enough to open up and share a particular challenge I've got? Right? Thirdly, if I'm prepared to trust you and open up and share a challenge I've got, would I also be trusting enough with you to have you be the person that fixes the problem for me? Okay, this is in their head, because people are not looking for the best solution only. They're looking for the person who they can trust to deliver the best solution, right? That's the key. So that's the first 3. The other ones, and if you're in network marketing, here are questions that are in people's heads and they won't tell you. 1, can I do this? Right? They won't tell you this, but if you're a network marketer, that's what's in their head. Can I do this?
Will it suit me? Yeah.
Yeah. Secondly, do I want to do this? I mean, after all, what are my friends going to say when I say, I've just joined a network marketing company? They go, oh, you're stupid.
And like a cult, doesn't it?
They're all rip-off merchants, and they're all pyramid schemes, and they're all this and they're all that, right? To be quite frank with you, network marketing is probably the best business model that's ever been invented. The problem with network marketing is network marketers.
Yeah,
That's
people.
the problem.
That's right.
Okay? So these are the types of questions that are in people's head. And you need, in your conversations with them, to have successfully answered those questions in a way that they think, oh my God, Jeff, I wish I'd met you 10 years ago. Okay, there you go.
Not bad, Pete, not bad. Peter, a bit of your background. I believe you dabbled in insurance for a little while. Tell me what happened with the insurance industry. How'd you go with that?
Well, let's not make this into an interview, but very quickly, yeah. In last century, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
After leaving school teaching, I decided to pick up a job, and the
Yes.
job I selected was the one that my wife at the time thought was the worst possible option. It was either a used car salesman or a life insurance agent. And I didn't fancy myself with a whole lot of gold chains around my neck, so I gave the used car.
Imagine, yeah.
And instead I went into life insurance. And to be quite frank with you, Jeffrey, it took me 5 goes to get a job as an agent.
Yeah, you were saying it recently.
Okay? And because everywhere I went, they knew me as what I was, as a successful, and I loved teaching. I really did, right? But they thought I was joking. Anyway, I went into life insurance. Yeah, and I said to them, do me a favor. I really don't want to know about your product. Okay. I've got 2 kids here from school, okay, which are like VAs, which raises an issue, by the way. If you try to do this on your own, you better talk to people like Jeffrey, okay? Because you cannot do it on your own. There's no way you can do it on your own. You need people to actually
help.
Not only help, but to leverage your time. Right?
Yes.
And I've heard so many times people saying, I can't afford a VA.
Yeah, right. Joke. Can't afford $15 a day.
That is something which I find hard to stop smiling at. Right? Because you then spent the next hour doing things that you could have paid $15 to get done. Right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And be consistent. But i.e., go on social media every day. If you don't feel like it, guys, there's days I don't feel like it. Right? I don't want to get out of bed. Right? However, the good thing is the VA turns up for their salary and they get the job done, right? Consistently. That's why you see me everywhere, every day. It's not me, it's my team, guys, right? Guys, I got another area that works very well for me.
Let me finish one thing.
Peter.
I'm going to cut you off. The thing I really meant to say when it came to insurance is this. I didn't learn the product, right? I had 2 kids from school who did all that. What I did is when I went into a potential client's premises, and basically they were in fact business. I was in the business insurance area, put it that way, right?
Yes.
I would say, okay, my name's Peter. Okay, I'm from XYZ, and immediately they say, we're not interested in insurance, and I'd say, thank God for that, because I haven't got a clue about it either. I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, if you want to talk about insurance, you can talk to these 2 kids. And automatically they think, what do you mean? I said, I'm telling you the truth. Don't ask me any insurance questions. I'm simply here to find out about your story. I'd like you to take a few steps back and to share with me, okay, your story of how you got into this business in the first place up until now and what are the current problems you're facing. Would you mind sharing that with me there? That's got nothing to do with insurance at all. But I'm a curious person by nature, and I'd love to know. Would that be okay with you?
Absolutely.
All right. And then what I would do is I would not just listen, I would be present with them. Okay. If you listen to nothing else to what I say today, make sure you write that down. Be present with people. That means you're not just being an active listener, but they can see and they can feel that you are trying to understand them, because people love to be understood. Right?
Very, very much.
Being fully present with them means you are not trying to predict what the next questions you're going to ask them. You're not trying to think, here's the place I can jump in and solve the solution. You're not trying to do anything else but listen to them and go with them in their story. And you let them feel like they're controlling the conversation, but it's really you controlling the conversation because you are directing the conversation by the questions you're asking them. But they feel comfortable because they're talking about something that they know all about. And there's no pressure. There's no pressure on them at all because they're telling their story. They're telling their story, okay? Make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, over to you.
Peter, and listening, I come across a lot of people, you know, in my day-to-day activities over the years. This is how I come across Peter many years ago. And they all say one thing about Peter. I don't even say anything, and they're talking about Peter. And they all say, "Oh, that guy's amazing. I had a really memorable experience." So he's known as the guy who gives you a memorable experience. So that's a compliment to Peter. And if you want a memorable experience, guys, reach out. There's no pressure, nothing. He'll listen to your story and he'll guide you and, you know, talk to you, and you will come away with a memorable experience. Back to what we're talking about, guys. One of the things I've had a lot of luck with, probably, excuse me, I would say 50% of my business comes from here. And I keep educating people. Guess what? Nobody listens. And I just laugh. I laugh and laugh and laugh because we use Facebook groups, guys. We've got a very big Facebook group with some 5,000 members, and even my competitors are members. And I tell them, please, I beg them, please go and post on my page what you do and how you can help people. And they say, "Oh, yeah, but I'm your competitor." So, no, you're not, my friend. You're in the same business. There's billions of people out there, billions, right? Yeah. You're not my competitor. You're not me, right? You are you and I'm me. You're not my competitor. Anyway, guys, these Facebook groups, they work their bum off. Really, they do. You go in there and you give value. When you go into other marketers hate my guts, guys, because when you go in there, you're going to find at the moment, as of yesterday, there are 352 free business guides worth thousands of dollars. Other marketers are trying to sell it to you. I'm giving it to you for free. And why do I do that? Because you'll get halfway through, you'll get stuck, you'll get bored, and you'll come to me and say, "Jeff, can you do this for me?" And the answer is yes, we can. And apart from those guys, that's under guys, if you go into files, even Peter's contributed there too. There's things, guys, where, just 1 second, guys, my alarm's going off, sorry. 1 second, guys.
Gee, this is the imperfect Jeff.
There you go. Yeah, no, but one of my second phone, I've got it on charge and now it won't turn off. Luigi, get rid of this. I've even got to get assistance to get my alarm off.
Here's a perfect example of being totally natural, right?
That's the one. Yeah. So, guys, going back to what I was saying, I've got these files, and Peter's been a contributor as well, and there's over 200 files there, some of which I've got the reprint rights. I've paid over $500 for. And they're all there, guys, totally free. All you got to do is grab a beverage, a wine, a water, a beer, whatever the time of the day is and your beverage of choice is, and go over these guides, and they'll help you considerably. They're PDFs, so you can print them off and read them at your leisure. But, guys, take action and get yourself a Facebook group. If you're in a position to, get yourself a Facebook group and become an authority. If you're a bloody cook, go on there and put up recipes. If you're a motor mechanic, get in there and tell people how to fix a car. Give them hints and tips. And Peter and I have discussed this before. What you do here, guys, basically, it's not a trick, but what you're doing here is you're giving them the spices, right? You're giving them the recipe, but then they'll come to you to bake the cake. All right? So that's it, guys, from me on Facebook groups and how to grow your business.
And let me share with you, Jeffrey, you've got nearly 5,000 in one group, right?
Yeah, over 5,000 now. It's just touched over 5,000.
Okay, so just think of this. I mean, you're in a situation to speak about imperfect thing. I've got a spam call coming.
It's all happening, guys. This is real. This is not recorded. This is real, guys.
This is it, right? The bottom line is this. Think of the opportunities you have if you can put something in Jeff's group that is a little bit different because it reflects you and your authenticity, and you've got 5,000 people there looking at it, okay? I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to do it, for God's sake.
That's right.
Nothing.
That's right.
Business gurus, right? Look for it. Look for it. It's an incredible, and it's just one of Jeff's opportunities to do that.
It's on the screen, guys. Just scan it. Grab your phone now and just take that scan down, and away you go. You go straight into the group. Welcome, and then come and post what you do. Say hello and post what you do, and 5,000 people will be watching you. You'll have the lurkers out there, guys. You'll have the haters out there as well, but you will get feedback, and we'll make you most welcome.
Okay, one last thing from me. One of the biggest challenges I find people have is actually how to start a conversation with a potential client, okay? And I will preface this by saying this. When you're talking to people and having a conversation, don't think of it, as I said before, as a prospect. Don't think of it as a sales conversation. Think of it as a conversation, okay? When you're having a conversation with somebody, you keep your ears pricked for what could be potential areas that you may want to follow up with, okay, in terms of getting to understand them more, and maybe there's something from a commercial intent. But it's not an agenda you have. It's just simply you not wasting your time talking to people. Because there's been people I've seen who have spent weeks and months busy talking to people and getting nowhere, okay, and achieving nothing. You have to be smart. You have maybe just in 10 or 15 minutes, you need to be able to identify, is this person worth spending any more of my time with, right? That's the key issue to me. And if you can do that, then I would simply say this. Not say, look, I'll send you a calendar link and we'll book on a time together. I would not do that, okay? One of the things that you might find worthwhile, go to a place like Namecheap, for example, and book with Jeff, book with Peter, talk with whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now, you might not get
a domain. You buy a short domain name, guys.
A short domain name.
That relates to you.
Costs you $7 or $8 a year, right? That's all, right? And people can remember it. I mean, I've been using peterbeckham.com/chat, but that's a bit of a mouthful. Even though my name's on the screen, people have trouble spelling my name anyway, right? So all I'm saying is pick a domain name, and you might not get the .com one, but it doesn't matter. Maybe it's .org, maybe it's .net. Who cares, right? But it's easy to remember. All you got to do is simply listen. Have you got your phone in front of you? Do me a favor. Okay, check your calendar, okay, and put in www.talkwithjeff.org. Okay.
Talk to the guru. Just think outside the box, guys.
Whatever it is. Talk to the guru. And that automatically puts them on your calendar, which raises the whole point I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that everyone you're talking to is on your calendar, right? Everybody. You need to run your business that way. If you are not running your business on a calendar, then you really are in chase mode. You are chasing people. But if you got them on your calendar, they know you're on the calendar. They know why you're going to talk to them, okay? And you know what it's all about, which means you need some sort of simple bit of software. And it's usually called a CRM, okay? I'll give you one that's for free. It's called agile.com. Is it the best? No. No, it's not the best. And there's a paid version, but there's also a free version, okay? Customer Relationship Management, CRM. Look under Agile, okay? I'm not saying it's the best on the market, but all I use it for is to keep a record of who I've spoken to and what I promise them I'd do, okay? And it reminds me, call Jeff on X, okay?
Yeah, fantastic.
And now I'll be very honest with you here. This is really putting the monkey in the cage. I had that on my profile, okay? And Jeff and I, to be quite frank, were supposed to have met an hour before. And I didn't even wake up. I didn't get to sleep until 5 o'clock in the morning. This is the truth, right?
He's having a power nap like me, guys.
This is the truth. I didn't get to sleep until 5 o'clock this morning. I didn't even hear the ding go off to remind me, right? Because I was asleep. And that's the truth, right, Jeffrey? Because we
Correct.
had this an hour before.
Yeah.
Okay? So anyway, the point I'm getting at is this. Use some simple software that makes your life easier, okay? You haven't got to be a technocrat to do this, okay? But it does enable you to free up your time, okay? And what I'm really wanting to finish with is this. When you are talking to somebody and you get them to the point when you truly believe that this is their key issue, you finally got them to trust you enough, right? Without trying to persuade them, without trying to convince them, by simply being present with them and listening to them and letting them see that you are genuinely trying to understand their situation. When you get to that point, when you feel that they have finally opened up and said, this is what my problem is, right? That is a huge win for you. Because I can tell you right now, if I met Jeff for the first time and I said, hey, Jeff, nice to meet you. How you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Tell me, what are the biggest problems you face in business? Right? He would think, why in the hell should I bother to tell you? I don't know you from Adam, right? No way in the world. So you've got to be in a situation where you build a trust relationship. You don't build rapport. People haven't got to like you to do business with you. People have got to trust you to do business with you. That's the key. The know, like, and trust was good last century, but trust is the new currency. If they don't trust you, doesn't matter how much they like you, they ain't going to do business with you.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Guys, I'll wrap it up with another one of my thing. I've done marketing for 50 years, guys, and there's new things come along all the time. And I'm happy to share some of them with you if you reach out anytime. But one of the ones that's been working for us for the last couple of years and made me highly successful. People say, it's okay for you, Jeff, you live in a penthouse and rah, 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 and you've got money and you're in the Philippines and all that. Well, guys, let me tell you, I lost millions, lots of millions with COVID. And I virtually went down to zero. I had to start again because they couldn't take your brain. They can never take your brain, guys. The old saying, confidence, money lost, nothing lost. Confidence lost, everything's lost. So don't lose your confidence, guys. I've had people on my show this week down their luck. I had to rev them up a bit and get them back on the horse again. Keep going, guys. Never, never give up. What I want to tell you, guys, I've got this amazing software. It's bloody amazing. You're happy to have a trial of it. It's going to cost you $3.33 a day, $3.33 a day to get 20 plus prospects. I'll get you in front of 20 prospects in your niche. If you sell golf clubs, I'll put you in front of 20 golfers. If you sell perfume, if you're a woman selling perfume, I'll put you in front of 20 women who want perfume. Right now, 20. Think about it, guys. 20 a day times 30 days. Give it a try. Give it a decent trial. 30 days. That's 600 effing leads. 600 leads or prospects. Do you think you might be able to make 1 or 2 sales from 600 prospects? Because if you can, the $3.33 per day is not going to worry you a great deal, is it? You're going to do more of it. So that's a wrap for me. And I want to thank Peter for taking the time to come on today and put this together for you guys so that we can basically, guys, with no agenda, we just want to help educate you guys and say, keep on going and keep, it's a tough gig, guys. Nothing without hard work. I've never worked so hard, guys. I've had 5 successful businesses. This one's been the toughest. I thought it would be the easiest. It ain't, because as Peter said, people got to trust you. And then once they give you the money, you got to do the darn job, So,
Let me finish one thing. In everything you do, especially on social media, okay, you're not doing it just for visibility. You're doing it to encourage people to connect with you. So it's called a call to action, all right? You need to have some sort of call to action that encourages people to want to speak with you. Now, the way you do that is a whole different ball game. And I'm going to give you one right now, okay? It's cost you nothing. Cost you nothing, like Jeff has given you before. Cost you nothing. I'm going to give you this opportunity to join a very small Facebook group that Jeff is in fact part of. And it's, if you just go, I haven't got a short version for this at all, okay, like Jeff's got, peterbeckenham.com/community. peterbeckenham.com/community. There you will find a group called Your Next Level. In that group, it's like a family. And the idea is to work together as a family, to help each other, and also to try and do business with each other. And at the same time as that, support each other and promote each other in any way you possibly can. So that's my call to action for you, peterbeckenham.com/community.
And don't forget, guys, we'll be putting all the socials. This will be up on YouTube in the next 24 hours, both Peter's channel and my channel. And all the links will be there for you, all the different things we spoke about. All the links will be there. Access to Peter, access to myself, access to the group Peter just spoke about. It'll all be there for you guys, all across social media. So you got no excuses, guys.
None at all. Be consistent. Never give up. When you're down and out, both Jeff and I have been absolutely there. When you're down and out, okay, the bottom line is pick yourself up, because no one else is going to pick you up. You've got to do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. If you are just going to sit there and feel sorry for yourself, you know what? That's exactly what you're going to get.
That's right. No one's coming to save you, guys.
No one's going to come to save you. You've got to have a mindset that is full of determination to win, right? Determination, consistency, persistency, and above all, being authentic. And we've just shown you today, we're authentic because we made all sorts of mistakes today. And if you didn't pick them up, then you weren't watching properly, right? So be yourself, be authentic, be real, for God's sake. Be real and let people resonate with you. Because if they resonate with you, then they'll learn to respect you. And if they respect you, then they'll be guided by you. Because they can see, my God, this person's bloody real. They're not trying to impress me. They're not trying to give me all the ins and outs of their product. They're not trying to say, I've been in business for X hundred years and I've got 500 certificates on my wall, all that stuff. People don't care.
That's right.
They don't care how qualified you are. They care, do they trust you to solve their problem? That's my number one message for you.
All right, guys, we'll wrap all this up. Thanks for coming on, Peter. Much appreciated, my friend. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the family tonight at 8 p.m. as normal.
Okay. Cheers, mate. Take care. All the best, everybody.